Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time here, karibu sana. My name is Kathomi and I'm so glad you're joining us. Today's video, we are going to talk about the events that come before the actual wedding. So obviously, if you're going to do just a traditional wedding, then just a few events come before that. I think just one actually. Yes, just one. And then there's obviously the white wedding, and then you have just a couple of events for your white wedding. So yeah, but the first event that comes before your wedding is the engagement party. So he's proposed and you're finally engaged. Obviously you're so happy. Probably your friends were there, and you've posted your photos on social media, you've told your family, you've told your friends, blah blah blah. So you want to have an engagement party, and the purpose of having an engagement party is sort of to announce that you guys are now finally engaged in a type of formal way, just to celebrate the new chapter of your life with your better half, with now including your family and your close friends, and you just meet up and have a good time. When planning an engagement party, you need to set a date. So you need to have that in mind. You need to know it's going to be on this date, and then you need to know it's going to be at this time, and you need to know it's going to be at this place. That way it makes it easier for you to have all those details during the planning, like when you're getting food, when you're getting suppliers, when you're getting all those things that you need for the party. It makes it easier. Second of all, it makes it easier for your guests to come, as in to plan their day accordingly. They know that the party is going to be on 30th of June, and it's going to be from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. something like that, and it's going to be at, it's the location at where, tell me, it's going to be at Safari Park. Let's say it's going to be at Safari Park, and we're just meeting to eat and drink and have a good time as you celebrate this one and that one getting engaged. So as you plan your engagement party, you just need to have that in mind. The next ceremony that comes after the engagement party, I would say, is a traditional wedding. So if you're from Africa, and I'm just speaking mostly if you're Kenyan, I know most Kenyan communities do have the traditional type of wedding. For Kikuyus and Merus, we call it Rorasho, and then other communities have a specific name. I just don't know the name, but if you know what Rorasho is, or if you've heard Rorasho, you know it's a traditional wedding. So what happens is the family of the groom goes to negotiate the bride, not to negotiate, they go to pay the bride price. So they go to the bride's home, and they pay the bride price, and after they pay the bride price, there's obviously drinking and celebrating the new wedding, the new marriage. So obviously a traditional wedding is a marriage, to say the least. Like if you do your traditional wedding, you just register as a married couple in Kenya. Like it is in the law now. If you do your traditional wedding, you just go and register as a married couple if that is the end of your marriage. So yeah, we have the Rorasho, where the groom goes and visits the bride's place and pays the bride price. Another event comes, it's also a traditional event, where the bride's family goes and visits the groom's family, where the groom is from. So this is when it's called Itara, and I just learned that word like a few months ago. I didn't know what it's called, but I have seen it happen. So And during this occasion, the bride is told, make us a cup of tea, or can you make us an egg, or can you cook even ugali, you're just tested. Can you cook? Can you really cook? So it's a way of assuring the groom's mother that if I give you my son, or since we paid the bride price, can you feed our son? For Africans, food, men and food are very important. It's one thing, so you kind of have to know how to cook basics, because they're gonna throw it to you like pika chai, they test. Do you know how to pima the milk and the water? Do you know how to, majani uneka mingi ama kidogo na separating anyway? So yeah, that is the second part of the traditional wedding. Now you're planning for the wedding. For the white wedding, we do a rehearsal dinner, or just a rehearsal. Yeah, just a rehearsal whereby you get to you and your bridal party and the groomsmen, you just get to know the way the wedding day is going to flow. You get to know the procedure of how the actual events are going to happen during your wedding. So you do the work. It's not the actual work, but you decide who goes first, who goes last, and how they're going to enter. Are they going to dance, or are they going to just walk, and how much time is going to be needed during that. You get to know, you also tell, like, if you have a preacher or whoever who's officiating your ceremony, they get to know like how long they need to talk, how long they need to preach, when the vow should be done. You also need to decide, like, if there are any speeches that are going to be given at that particular time, how long it's going to be. So mostly it focuses on what's going to happen during like the church service part of the wedding, but also you get to discuss or assign duties to different people, especially if we don't have a planner who's going to be going around. You tell like your cousins or your sisters or just someone, your friends, that this one is going to be in charge of this one is going to be in charge of this. And that's what happens mostly during the rehearsal dinner. So during your wedding, it's going to be much easier knowing that your wedding will just flow nicely, because everyone knows what's going to happen. So it's very important to have a rehearsal type of event. A dinner, rehearsal dinner, you can have a dinner or just a rehearsal between, let's say, 4 to 6. You meet at this specific location, and you talk about the actual wedding day, the bridal shower, and the bachelor party. So during these ceremonies, you get to advise the bride, and the groom get advice on their new life that they're about to begin, like how marriage life is going to be. You can get counselors to come during this time, marriage counselors to come during this time, or you have a lady who's been married for a long time, or a man who's been married for a long time, to come and speak to you guys on what to expect during this marriage. It's not always going to be just sweet and whatever, just the dream fairy tale that you have in your mind. They get to advise you on what to do when you hit the bumps and all that. So it's such an important thing to do, I feel like, because you get to enter marriage with a different type of perspective than what you actually thought before talking to someone who's been married for a while, and they get to advise you. That is the important part. And also it's a time to celebrate, so you get gifts. Your friends bring you gifts, and you just get to celebrate this new beginning, new chapter of your life with people that you love. And that is very important. For all this, you have to know, you have to come up with the day of this event, the time of this event, the place for this events are gonna take place, who's going to be hosting you. This makes it easier for you to plan the days and also for your guests, so that they can plan their day according or around that specified day. They can plan themselves around the guests. They can plan themselves around that specified day. So that is why you need to have these things, decided before you say, yeah, you call them, tomorrow is my engagement party, so you'll come. Not everyone is free tomorrow. So, and if it's someone who's really important and you want to celebrate this time with them, you need to talk to them about this and give them a date way before the actual event happens. So now we've come to the wedding, and obviously you've already decided to have this day. You've already decided the place, the time, the venue, so you already have that in mind. You've already sent it to people, and this is a very, very important time. So if you're not the bride, your work is to make if you're not the bride or the groom, your work is to make their life easier on this day. So just make sure the wedding just flows nice and simple and you have a good time. So if you plan ahead and you have your budget set and everything, it's going to be a smooth flowing event. But if you just go I'm just going to my wedding, you need to know, are your suppliers coming? Is it your caterer going to show up? Is the guy in charge of the tents, are they up? So before the wedding, these are things that you need to know. Also the reception, you need to have a way of how the things are going to flow during your reception. What time guys are going to arrive at the reception, what time food is going to be served, what time is it time for people to dance, what time, the best part of the wedding, what time are people going to be cutting cake. So you obviously need to set a time for all these events for them to be smooth flowing. So you guys, that is it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe and press the notification button so that you always get notified when I upload a new video. Don't forget to share as well, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.